News Channel 11 in your corner at 7.
Good evening and thanks for choosing News Channel 11 at 7. I'm Kylie McGivern. In a meeting now underway, Tennessee Valley Authority officials want the public's input on changes to regulations governing floating houses in all of its reservoirs. Safety and environmental concerns are prompting TVA officials to consider new policies. Up until 1978, TVA accepted permits for people to park houseboats, but the permits never covered non-navigable floating homes.
There has been a little bit of a misunderstanding as to what is a boat versus what is a floating home. We're trying to make certain that people understand that just because you have a boat number on a barge but a 2,000 square foot home out there, it's not necessarily considered the same thing as a bass boat or a party barge.
Owners of floating homes have the chance to take part in the public meeting happening right now in Johnson City. TVA officials are at the Holiday Inn on West Springbrook Drive until 7:30 this evening to present several options to guideline changes and answer your questions. Former Subway spokesman Jared Fogle is expected to plead guilty to possession of child pornography charges. An Indianapolis TV station is reporting the Subway icon will accept a plea deal. Last month, the FBI raided Fogle's home in the Indianapolis area. It had to do with a child pornography case. Shortly after that, Subway suspended its ties with him. His attorney says that he has no comment, but confirms the suspension is continuing. The U.S. Attorney's Office will hold a news conference tomorrow afternoon to discuss the deal. An Amber Alert is issued for a 3-year-old boy from Michigan. Police believe his mother abducted him and they could be heading to Tennessee. Keegan Elijah Waterman has brown eyes and black hair. His mother, 38-year-old Christina Waterman, has blonde hair and blue eyes. She's 5'7" and about 195 pounds. The pair may be headed to Tennessee in a tan 2000 Chevrolet Tahoe with Tennessee license plate U4758V. So anyone with information is asked to please call police. Less than a day after Carter County commissioners approve a one-time bailout of $160,000 for the rescue squad, we found out there is still confusion about whether or not there is an existing contract between the county and the county's EMS services. Mayor Leon Humphrey says that along with commission meeting minutes and videos of commission meetings from 2013, there is a 4-year contract that exists. Today, Humphrey showed us this audit from 2014 provided by the Carter County EMS's CPA firm that says, quote, the organization received a $170,000 appropriation from Carter County in the current year. The appropriation is part of an exclusive 4-year operating franchise agreement, which terminates in the 2016-2017 fiscal year, end quote. But when we spoke to EMS Director Terry Arnold late this afternoon, he disagrees, saying that there is, quote, no contract on EMS side and never has been, end quote. Again, in Mayor Humphrey's eyes, he says this is a contract and something they should hold EMS services responsible for.
This is information provided by EMS. They also acknowledge that there's no contract. It confirms. It's their CPA firm. It's their audit report. They're the ones that filed it here in the courthouse. We do have a contract, and we should adhere to that.
Moving forward, Humphrey tells us that they are forming a task force to look at the EMS's funding issues to find a long-term solution. Unicoi officials have voted to hire the town's first police officer. The Board of Mayor and Aldermen voted to begin the process of hiring the town's first public safety officer. The vote followed a discussion of the town's $100,000 contract with the Unicoi County Sheriff's Department to provide 2 officers for daytime patrol within the town. Mayor Johnny Lynch says Sheriff Mike Hensley told him that he might not be able to completely fulfill the contract due to a looming shortage of officers. About a third of the county's patrol and investigative officers have told him that they will leave the department because of the county commission's decision to not provide any funding match for family insurance coverage for county employees. Former President Jimmy Carter will speak publicly about his cancer fight on Thursday at the Carter Center in Atlanta. The former president revealed last week that cancer has spread from his liver to other parts of his body. The 90-year-old had surgery earlier this month to remove a small mass. Carter says he plans to undergo treatment at Emory Healthcare in Atlanta.
Those showers continue across the region. Take a look downtown Johnson City, our General Shell Skycam network. The rain is falling, and we're also watching the moderate to heavy rain at times. Sullivan County, Washington, and Carter County, and Unicoi County, right across the border in the northwestern areas of North Carolina. All this is pushing off towards the north. Widely scattered showers from Wise to Abingdon, and more wet weather back towards Knoxville. So we're staying in this very unsettled weather pattern. And take a look at the heavy downpours here right along the I-81 corridor, just outside of the Tri-City Airport, parts of Colonial Heights seeing the heavy rain, and that heavy rain continuing back through parts of Johnson City. And again, it's all pushing off towards the east and northeast. So we're going to contend with those rain showers through the night tonight, scattered about, more coming our way for tomorrow. And as that rain moves in, more comes at us from the southwest. Very unsettled weather pattern. More on the forecast coming up in just a few more minutes.
Thanks so much, Mark. Wellmont Health System now owns one more hospital in the region. As recently as 2014, Adventist Health System and Wellmont jointly owned Tacoma Regional Hospital in Greenville. Now the hospital, as well as Tacoma Medical Associates, will be part of the Wellmont Health System.
We don't anticipate any changes in patient choice related to insurance or choice of physician or provider. As a matter of fact, we hope that this expands the opportunity to expose the patient population to more providers.
Wellmont's CEO says Wellmont will continue to honor the faith-based mission of the hospital. The change in ownership is expected to be complete November 1st. A traffic alert out of North Carolina. Beginning Monday, crews will close US 321 Business and South Main Street in Blowing Rock, along with several businesses. Downtown traffic will be detoured from Main Street onto Sunset Drive. Crews are widening and improving US 321. Work is expected to last about a month. Tourism is up in Tennessee, more specifically in Washington County. Governor Bill Haslam made the announcement during a special event at the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville today. He said tourists in Washington County spend a total of $235 million in 2014. That's up 4.1% from the year before. That generated a total of $13.4 million in state taxes and more than $5.4 million in local tax revenues. For the entire state, tourism's direct domestic and international travel expenditures reached $17.7 billion in 2014. That's up 6.3%, and keep in mind, that is an all-time high. The Tennessee Department of Tourist Development says tourists are drawn to the state for our world-renowned music, outstanding attractions, stunning scenic beauty, and southern hospitality. The Model City is already planning their 100th birthday party. It's coming up in 2017. Part of the year-long celebration will be commemorated with a new park located off Main and Cherokee Street downtown. The park will include a water feature, history walk, and a stage. And the city of Kingsport says it has contributed $350,000 up front, and the rest of the money will be raised by the community.
More than likely, this project will be presented in several different phases. And ultimately, what we build is going to be determined on how much money is raised by the community.
The design plans will be approved at tonight's Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting. The Virginia Lottery says that its profits topped $500 million for the 2015 fiscal year. Profits totaled nearly $534 million, which was turned over to Virginia's K-12 public schools. Every dollar of lottery profits benefit K-12 education in Virginia. Sales for the 2015 fiscal year totaled more than $1.8 billion. Scratcher games drove the lottery sales, and sales of the Scratcher tickets that exceeded $1 billion for the first time in a single year. The lottery also paid out $1.1 billion in prizes, which is a record. There were 28 tickets that won at least $1 million. Less than a century ago, women were fighting for the right to vote in our country.
We should have the right to vote for that president.
Today, on the 95th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, the state of Franklin chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution gave us a glimpse of that history. They demonstrated just a small part of the 100-year fight for the women's right to vote. The women performed monologues about the suffering that women endured to get us to where we are today.
They went through all that so you could have the right to vote. And many of you don't even use that right. So we're hoping that people will realize the importance of this and that their vote still counts.
Organizers told us that the real hope for this is to inspire people to register to vote. Women are continuing to make strides as history is made for the Army Rangers. For the first time, 2 women have earned the Elite Ranger tab. The story is next on News Channel 11 at 7.
And rain